So around that time, or at the beginning of my junior year, was when I really started to go down a different path. I decided that, um, you know what, I just want to be successful. It's all about me, me, me. Because I was single at the time, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna get like a great internship. Because I had just had my first internship the last summer, and I thought, wow, making money is pretty good. Even though in reality, I just like felt really empty and lonely the whole time I was there. But anyway, I was like, I'm gonna get an internship at a big company. I'm a computer science major, and so I was like, I'm gonna get a internship at Google or Facebook or something like that, and I'm gonna be the best, idiot. And so, I had a lot of friends that were also in the same boat, and so we would like practice interview questions together. I would participate in lots of like coding competitions, trying to get better. I would also like, which is like not really super relevant, sorry. And then I would also party a lot. That's just when I started really like, it was bad. Like I would go. Um, I remember the first week of school. Um, I went to a party on that Friday, or no, that Thursday night. Got drunk. Went to a party the next Friday. Got drunk. Went to a party on that Saturday night. A party that somebody I met at one of the other parties was going to, and I didn't know anyone else. Ended up um, like sleeping with a dude that I had met that night, and I was like, that was something I'd never done before, and I was like, I didn't feel any shame about it. I was just like, this is who I am, and this is what I was meant to do. I just need to stop being like repressing my sexuality, and I just need to like um, let go and experiment, basically. So it got really bad. Um, I made a lot of stupid decisions like that. A lot of weekends were like that. Um, I just continued to basically do whatever I want, whatever I wanted. Uh, I got really involved in working out, which is not like bad in and of itself, but I was very like obsessed with my physical appearance and doing like having really unhealthy diets just to like make myself look better. And then I would be confident when I would go out and party, wear like really skimpy outfits, um, crave the attention of like other dudes, um, and of everyone really. Everybody loved me when I was drunk. They, um, when I was sober, I was too shy to talk to anyone. But when I was drunk, I was complimentary and I could talk to anyone. And I would wake up the next day with like 5 Facebook friends that I didn't have before. And I was like, this is great. This like helps me be a better person. Um, and so I didn't see any reason to like stop what I was doing. Uh, but every now and then I would have a moment where, like, especially after drinking, um, the day after or something like that. I remember specifically I had one moment where I was like taking a shower and I was just like, what the heck am I doing? Like it got really bad when I, um, uh, in a junior year in the, right before we went home for winter break, I went to a party and I drank so much that I didn't really remember anything, and that was the first time that I'd done that. Um, which you might say is like, oh, it's no big deal. All people do that all the time, but not for me. um, but that's the path I was headed down, and so I remember that day like just making a fool of myself. Like I peed my pants after drinking too much at like midnight. Strangers had to take my clothes off because they were getting dirty with my own vomit and pee. And then I they put me in the shower and turned the water on, and like I wasn't even conscious of any of this stuff. It's just like a blur in my head. Um, but all I remember is those moments, all I remember is being in the shower and like crying, um, and crying so much. It was weird because I didn't feel like I was sad, but the next day, like I started to realize that there was a lot of emotion in me that wasn't. There was a lot of like negative emotions in me that weren't being released, and they would only come out when I was drunk because I was so numb. Because I had continually numbed myself with alcohol, um, and just doing whatever I want, including like, and that's another thing. You know, since high school, I had been really deep in pornography, and it just got worse and worse. And at that point, it was just like no big deal. Like maybe when I started out, I felt really guilty about it. Um, but eventually, I was like, you know what? This is just something that everybody my age does. That's a guy, and it's fine. It's not hurting anybody, you know. But I could tell that it was hurting me the deeper I got into it, you know. Um, like it was really bad, really bad. And I won't go into detail just because this is on the internet. But I was I was hooked. Um, there were certain times that I felt like if I didn't like watch pornography at any at, at that given moment, like I would I would die, or I would like have a heart attack. Maybe not that extreme, but like it was the only way to stop like my anxiety from welling up uh, in high stress situations. I would just have to go watch porn. Um, and I know that probably happens to a lot of people out there too. And I want you to know that there's freedom from that in Jesus, and we'll get to that very soon. Maybe not very soon. I'm sorry, this video is taking a long time. So, and thank you for sticking with me so far. If you have, uh, you're a trooper, and there's redemption coming soon. So at this point, I'm way deep in my sin. Um, I'm just like drinking, masturbating, um, smoking weed, um, not super frequently, but sometimes. Uh, just being like really vulgar. I was just like everyone else in the world, because that's what happens. You become like who you spend time with, you know? And I just didn't think of it after so many years. It was a norm to me. It was the culture.